John Calvin taught that without knowledge of self, there is no knowledge of God. That's one of the Reformation's big teachings. We need to know ourselves if we want to know God. In Luke 6:42, Jesus says, "How can you say to your brother, 'Brother, let me take the speck that is in your eye,' when you yourself do not see the log that is in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take out the speck that is in your brother's eye." This comes back to Calvin, you see? The concept here is to recognize ourselves, to know ourselves well enough that we understand why we react the way we do to things. Perhaps when we're talking with others and we're talking about their sins, their problems, their issues, what we really mean is where they are failing to meet our expectations. Or maybe what we mean is they are making us feel ashamed, guilty, sad, whatever it is. In both those scenarios, what's really happening is that the other person may or may not be doing anything wrong. Our own self-awareness, what are my needs that I need met right now that are not being met right now? Why do I expect you to meet them? Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. We need to understand ourselves before we can get into these conversations. And so when we want to point something out, like somebody's addiction, we need to think through very, very carefully what addictions we have in our own lives. Do we have our cell phones in our pockets at all times? Do we scroll Facebook or Instagram or TikTok more than we should? What is it that we have to face in our own lives? And when we realize the challenges we face in our own lives, we can have more kindness, more gentleness, more mercy towards others, because we realize that the surface isn't the whole story. There's a trouble under the waters, there's difficulty under the waters, and we share that difficulty with others. I think John Calvin was very much right. For me personally, the best way for self-knowledge has been a lot of meditation. Sitting quietly, allowing thoughts to come and go in my mind and to notice them, to notice what kind of things my mind wanders to. I remember Tim Keller once said that your idols are whatever your mind wanders to when it has nothing else to think of. For instance, if you're at a bus stop, what are you thinking of? Nobody can see your thoughts. Are they worrisome? Do they bother you? We take notice of these things. We take notice of the thoughts. We recognize them, we learn about ourselves from them, and we learn what we need to work on. We can ask others to help us work on things. We can pray to God to help us work on things. But the point here that I'm trying to make is that we need to understand ourselves. The more we understand ourselves, the kinder, gentler, more humble we will be with others. And I believe that is part of what Jesus was getting at when he was telling us to take the log out of our own eye.